I'm Christian Abbott.
I'm Nathan Lavender.
I'm Sean Abbott.
And this is the Red Mist Podcast.
Hello, welcome to the Red Mist Podcast, Season 2, Episode 21. The Renus VK, BitNile sponsored Dallara Indycar, number 21, from Ed Carpenter Racing, that qualified number 2 at this past weekend's IndyCar qualifying. And you're also listening to the 26th best IndyCar podcast, according to FeedSpot. We've qualified for the Indy 500.
Yep.
We made the big show.
There we go. On tonight's episode, we'll talk about the All-Star race, NASCAR style, and its return to North Wilkesboro. We'll talk Japanese Super Formula and potentially the next teammate of Max Verstappen could be coming from that series. You heard it here first on the Red Mist Podcast. We'll also have a brief recap of the Nurburgring 24-hour endurance classic that took place this weekend. And then finally, we'll close the show out with a discussion of the IndyCar qualifying this past weekend, which was seat of the pants, I thought. Mm-hmm. The only thing I didn't like was the Fast 12 concept.
Yeah, I didn't get.
We'll get to it. Anyway. But anyways,
yeah.
So let's start in NASCAR land. Is this like Nate the mid-season break, or is this
the mid-regular season break?
Mid-regular season break. Okay. Now, do we switch to NBC after this?
No. I believe it's around like Sonoma or whenever that race is.
Okay.
It's around that time.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, anyways,
please.
How much more Clint Boyer can I take?
We got our first taste of Steve Letarte this year.
No. That was no Steve Letarte. That was our second.
Oh yeah, the 24
hours
Daytona.
Yeah. Anyways,
right. Yeah.
So, anyways, quick recap on the All-Star event, Nate.
Kyle Larson won.
And his payday?
$1 million.
That's right. And what did Kyle Larson do earlier in the week?
He won the truck race too.
Yep.
So he
won the
swept
truck
the
race
weekend.
And before that, on Tuesday night, he had a fantastic run in the Sprint Car Series that he runs in on the weekdays and took home about $50,000 in that race. So Kyle Larson had a big payday.
Oh yeah,
this week.
He's not bringing home the hardware. He's bringing home the bags of money. He's taking the money and running.
The Larson victory is always. I like the Larson victory circle after the race. When
I'm a big fan of it.
Kyle's wife comes out and shoots the beer. Awesome.
So awesome.
I love her. Anyways.
Yeah. Michael Waltrip even called it before it happened. Hey, if Kyle Larson wins, you're going to shotgun a beer? And she's like, one of yours.
Well, $5 she could shotgun beer faster than Michael Waltrip. So, anyways.
Yeah.
All right. That was just kind of, it was great to see back at North Wilkesboro. The racing wasn't so good.
Yeah, it was. It was the Kyle Larson show.
Well,
it is good racing.
Define what good racing is. Because if it's a typical short track, then you're not going to have much passing to begin with.
Really? Well, I watched.
Guess what, Sean? There was no green white checkered.
I watched the late models on Wednesday night. Mm-hmm. I watched the Cars Tour race, and I watched the Rodney Sandstorm race. Mm-hmm. And there was passing going on in that. I just don't understand why the Cup cars, not the Xfinity cars, but the Cup cars can't pass.
I think it's just a next-gen car in general.
Okay.
I don't think it turns around that track very well as compared to a late model or something.
All right. I didn't see the truck race, so couldn't comment on it. I do know Larson won, but that's about it.
Just in general, this is one thing that just bugs me is if the race isn't show-stopping entertaining, that doesn't mean it's a bad race. The analogy that I put it is if you look at baseball, like you can have a game that they both teams run up the scoreboard, and you have like double digit scoring for that, versus you have a game that's a dead heat and all out pitching battle, and you have no runs. And so when you look at both of them, you have like the amount of passes versus no passing, but you can still have an equally exciting show. It just equally exciting race or competition, because it's like that's just because there isn't passing doesn't mean it's a good race. That's my thing. Exhibit A, Monaco, may not be the most exciting race on the calendar, but you could have a good Monaco Grand Prix for what it is.
Got it. Okay. Sorry. All right. So this week we move on to the Coca-Cola 600.
Oh yeah, and I'll tell you what, that's going to be, it's such an oxymoron in NASCAR, because that is somehow the highest points paying race in the whole calendar, not the Daytona 500, because guess what, Sean? This race is 4 stages long.
Oh hell!
It's terrible. It's terrible. It takes, not only does it take strategy out the window, but it's obsolete on points paying.
Even back in the day when it wasn't a stage race, this race took forever.
It takes forever every year. It's like it's 2 a.m. and it's like, oh my god, we still have like 20 laps left.
Yeah, I remember when Jamie McMurray won. It was like, wow, that took a long time. Hopefully there's no rain delay.
Well, I think the craziest finish is when Dale Earnhardt Jr. ran out of gas and Kevin Harvick stole it in 2011.
Just one other note from North Wilkesboro.
Oh, yeah.
They did qualify with rain tires.
Yes.
Oh, the heat races?
Yes.
Yeah, they
right.
did.
So that was good.
That was pretty good.
And the heat races were good because tempers flared and people got upset. Ty Gibbs took a lot of abuse. So, anyways.
Well, that's just his style of driving.
Michael McDowell got fired up about him, so that was kind of interesting.
Oh, my God. Yeah, in the open.
And Michael McDowell is pretty mild-mannered. So, okay, so Coca-Cola 600. No one's running the double this year. But next year...
Larson.
Now, if I had a bet on someone winning both, he's the guy.
Oh, wait, no. That guy would. I'll tell you what, though. If Robbie Gordon would have been the other person, I would have guessed, but he ran out of gas in 99.
I thought Smoke might have. Could have.
Oh, hands down, Smoke. But, I could...
Smoke. Robbie Gordon, definitely, because Robbie Gordon, Jesus, the guy drove trophy trucks in the desert by himself for 25 hours, so... God love him. Anyway, he's a mad. He's a madman. All right, so there we go. We're off to the World 600. What do we have? Xfinity and truck there as well.
Yes, I want to say
no
yes,
ARCA, right?
No, not that I know of.
Okay.
But normally they run the Charlotte race. It's usually just everyone.
It's everyone. So it's races, like Friday night trucks, Saturday night Xfinity, and then Cup on Sunday.
You guessed it.
All right.
So that's that.
So Nate, you're gonna have to be our eyes and ears.
Oh dear.
For all 3.
The Indy 500 is happening.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. Next up, Christian, you want to give us a quick recap on the Japanese Super Formula, which I think people should really start paying attention to because Verstappen's new teammate for next year will be coming from there.
I don't know about that.
I agree. You heard it here first.
I mean, don't get me
wrong. We are the 26th ranked podcast. IndyCar podcast.
Of 60.
Yeah, IndyCar, not F1.
We're in the top 30.
Not yet. Hey, we're
33.
We're making moves to the front.
So this weekend, Super Formula race at Autopolis. And
that's a good track.
Is that on iRacing?
No.
No, it's on Gran Turismo.
Yep.
Oh, it's on Gran Turismo. Okay.
So I did not watch the race, but I've read and seen some of the highlights.
Yeah.
And just some notables. Obvious, biggest one, Liam Lawson won.
2 heats, right?
No, just one.
It was one race. So
it was one race.
They have 2 heat races. Okay.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say 2 heat races. 2 feature races.
It was just the first race weekend, and I think it's the last race weekend of the calendar that it's doubleheader weekend.
And for our listeners, just to let you know, these cars are on a road course about as quick as an Indycar.
IndyCar and F2.
Yeah.
And an F2, yeah.
That's
pretty
the level.
Quick.
That's the level of speed you're looking at.
Yeah, they're pretty quick.
Yeah, and at one point it was the next fastest thing to an F1 car.
Yep.
Well, you know what? You want to know something? I would love to see IndyCar at like Suzuka. Like I know they've been to Touring Motegi before.
Oh yeah,
and they've had some pretty good races.
Oh, yeah, no.
And the road course.
Nate's talking Suzuka. Yeah, they did the Motegi because that's where Danica won.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boys, move over.
Yeah, Suzuka would be kind of crazy. Is that
Mount Fuji? Fuji Speedway.
Fuji Speedway.
Yeah.
It's Fuji
that'd be
Suzuka.
cool.
They probably go to Suzuka because Suzuka is the Honda test track, correct? Yes.
For sure.
So.
Yeah, it is.
That would make sense.
They would probably go there if they were going to do a race. Anyways.
Yeah. So, yeah, Liam Lawson won it. There was an interesting strategy call. I think Lawson ended up being one of the first ones to pit for tires. So typically, there's one pit stop in each of these races, and each race is about 180 kilometers. So a race takes about hour and a half to get done. And then there was a late caution after Lawson pit at some time, and then that's when the rest of the front runners pit around then, and Lawson ended up getting the undercut on all of them, and then ended up holding position and took the win from there. The one interesting note of this race was that I'm gonna screw up his first name, but Najuri, his Lawson's teammate at Team Mugen, he did not participate in this race, and he's the two-time defending champion of Super Formula currently. He didn't participate this past weekend because apparently he had a collapsed lung.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Ooh.
Apparently he was seen around the paddock, so...
he was there.
He was there, but obviously not driving. So
wow.
They called up one of the guys that didn't get a seat this year, who was driving, I guess, last year or the year before, and he ended up. I think he went he made his pit stop, and then a lap or two later he. No. That's not what it was. During qualifying, he made a mistake and put the car on a wall, so he ended up starting the race from the back.
Yeah.
And then didn't. He had a good start, but then from there everything just kind of
collapsed.
Stayed where it was.
Yeah.
So I think he made up like 6 or 8 spots from the back. So not really the result that the top team Mugen needs, but that's
what are you gonna do?
I guess did enough and. Tried to show what skill he had, so who knows if he'll get a future ride out of it.
Yeah.
Do you have the results there or no?
I can.
I was just curious where some of the other notables finished.
Yeah. Let's see.
Because I think Hirakawa, that drives for Toyota, is in that series.
Yes. So, yeah. So I mean, there's other notable drivers in this series too. There's Ryo Hirakawa, who's Toyota factory driver.
Where did he finish?
This race, he finished 5th.
Okay.
A couple of the other big names, Kamui Kobayashi, he really hasn't had that strong of a season.
Yeah.
This past race at Autopolis,
it's always
he finished
fun when he's in there.
at 11th.
Yeah.
And then there's Giuliano Alesi.
Mm-hmm.
He finished 13th.
John Alesi's son.
Yep, he's.
I was going to ask on the relation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean, Tomoki Najuri, he being the defending series champion, he was out this race.
Yeah, you knew he'd like to see go back to the series because he does part-time in IndyCar. Takuma. Taku.
Oh, right.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Anyways,
but yeah, I guess, and then
Who finished second?
So for your podium for this race, it was Liam Lawson in first, Ritomo Miyata.
Okay.
Sorry on the pronunciation. Finished second, and then Sho Seboy finished third, and then Kenta Yamashita finished fourth.
I mean, these guys in this series, these guys are not slouches.
No. A lot of these guys are Toyota and Honda factory drivers or junior drivers.
And they were also running the Super GT series over there, too.
Yes.
Which is another fantastic series to see if you can catch that.
There is talk of, or I guess Najuri has tried to.
Yeah.
He's kind of, he made a comment of like he has to do well this season to kind of defend his honor.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah, well, they're
all of it, I totally get it, but it is the discussion is, well, because of COVID, there aren't a lot of international drivers that are in it.
That's been a huge
Lawson coming back in is really
it's
big.
Kind of, there's some more folks coming in, like
because you kind of have a benchmark of
and
Red
Bull was keen to put him somewhere.
Yeah.
I think he kind of got locked out in IndyCar because he did come over and test a car. He was at Sebring. He tested. Mm-hmm. He did a test, but I think he was kind of late to the party in terms of that. You know, he got a test, but he's so.
But yeah, I mean, so.
I mean, there might be a spot open when Palou leaves Ganassi.
Maybe. So yeah, next race. Where are they going? Next race.
It's like one a month, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know the calendar. Here we go. So they're going to Sportsland Sugo. Nate, did I pronounce that right?
You did it better than I could.
Okay. All right.
Just I'll be honest.
Nate's just throwing his hands up.
Anyway, so that race is.
You say it.
So that race is in a month's time. So it's middle of June. They'll be running again, June 16th, 18th. Nice. But yeah, and then the rest of the calendar, they go to Fuji Speedway. Afterwards, they actually return after having the first two rounds at Fuji. In July, and then in August they go to Motegi for a round, and then to cap the season off, they actually have a 2-month break, and it's the end of October when they wrap that season up. So I mean, it's only a nine round calendar, but you know it's good entertainment.
All right.
You know, it kind of brings me back to that discussion in Formula One when it was in 2020 and they're trying to figure out a calendar. And some words that stuck with me most was Daniel Ricciardo saying that the 10 race schedule is pretty legit. Mm-hmm. I mean, it sounds like, don't get me wrong, it sounds like it's 9 weekends, but I mean, looking at it, I think it's 11 races total.
No, right? It's 7 weekends, 9 races.
Okay. I mean, still, I guess.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, I don't have a problem with the double header weekends.
No, I don't. I don't know if is it too short? Is it? I mean, that's where I would start to question it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, with the other thing too with Japan, you're limited on land, so you only have so many tracks to go to. I think Okayama is still there. So I mean, that could have been another track that they went to. I know in the past they also went to Malaysia.
Okay.
What's the track?
Okay.
Sepang. Yeah, international. They did do a round there, so that would have been interesting to go to. But then again, I also don't know what the restrictions are over there because I
think it's starting to loosen up because some of the series, the Porsche China series, the Porsche Super Cup in Asia, they're calling it. Sorry, that started. They kicked off their season in China a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. So things are kind of kicking off. Be more so when we get to the end of the season when the Asian Le Mans series kicks in. Yeah. If they're going to stay in the Middle East or in Qatar and Bahrain. So
yeah,
we'll see. Anyways, all right. Well, thanks. Keep an eye out on that series. You catch that on YouTube, Christian? Is that where you find the races?
It's so you got to go on.
They have the replays there for sure.
They haven't.
Or do you go to the
really,
website?
You can go to the website. They have an app. You got to pay for that. Or if you can go to motorsports.com and on their motorsports.
But don't you have to have a motorsport.com?
Yeah.
Do we have one? I think I do.
You might.
Yeah.
So, not that you heard it from here, but there's also other websites you can find.
Reddit.
to go find your needs. So there's definitely more than one way to watch this thing.
Yeah.
So
all right, that's good. Let's quickly move over to. I mean, it's kind of, when we say quickly to cover a 24-hour race, but this weekend was the annual classic. I love this race. It was the ADAC Total Energies 24-hour of the Nurburgring. And I believe this is the 51st edition of this race. So, in this year, it was this is multi-class racing to the nth degree. Like in IMSA, you see it with the GTP cars, the LMP2, the LMP3s, and then you get the GT cars. But there is, I think they were up to about 100 and something cars this year that ran. Now, granted, the track's over 8 miles long. Is it 8 miles, Christian? Actually, I think it's longer than that. I think it's like 13 miles. We are checking. Hold on. Can't remember. So they run the green hell. And so you have GT3 cars, and 90% of these are factory-based cars. So they all have factory drivers in them, and this is the creme de la creme of GT drivers that are in these cars. And then we have, you got stuff. You got TCR cars, GT4 cars, so stuff that you see running the Michelin Pilot Challenge Series here in the States.
Sorry, 15.7 miles.
15.7 miles. Okay.
Or 25.3 kilometers.
Okay, thank you.
Whichever one you want.
For that clarification. Yep. It was only twice it was a little under twice what I announced.
Le Mans is 8.
Right.
Is 8.
That's what Le Mans on the brain. So it's a fantastic race to watch. It's the coverage is through on YouTube.
Unlike Super Formula, completely free to watch.
There was a snafu.
Oh, there was?
Yeah.
There was.
So there's a new platform coming from Roger Warner, who was involved with Speed TV. Mm-hmm. Somewhere along the line, I don't know, the wires got crossed, and I don't know. It got geo-blocked in the U.S. and Canada because allegedly they thought it was going to be running on Speed Sport TV, but that website wasn't even. It's up, but they had nothing on it, and about 3/4 of the way. Thank God for the folks at Radio Show Limited. Their social media feed was getting pounded. Like there's nothing on the U.S. and so the folks there reached out. I don't know, figured it out, and about 20 minutes into the race. And the geo block was lifted. But if you were lucky enough to have a VPN, you could watch the race. So, anyways, but it was wild. It was crazy. It's a lot to sit there for 24 hours to watch that race because the track is it's massive. Like they cover it with helicopters and stuff. I mean, it's massive. I mean, you get a sense of the scale of the race, but these guys are they're friggin' animals.
What lap time in the GT3 cars was roughly 8 minutes.
Yes, fastest lap was 8:09.
Yeah,
170.456 kilometers an hour.
Average speed.
Yeah,
170. Hold on.
That is and you're cutting in between multiple classes of traffic, and in some spots, I don't know how they pull passes off on this track because there's spots that it's like you don't think they can get 2 cars through there.
It's 105
miles an hour on a 15-mile track, and there's some corners that you're talking second gear corners, first gear corners.
First gear.
Some of the carousels. I mean, it's just crazy.
Turn 1,
and you also have to factor in that you don't have full course yellow flags on this. They have the
Well, they have local yellows, but it's like sections.
Well, what do they call it?
Well, not local yellow. I know what you mean, but it is
the
sections.
Speeds. They have the controlled speed zone, the code 60s.
Yes,
they have a code.
Isn't that what they're doing at Le Mans coming up?
Something.
Yes.
Something like that.
Well, Le Mans does the code 60s in different sections, but they also...
And there's a new thing with the pace cars, but we'll talk about that when we get closer to the race.
Yeah.
But the, and then you got code 120s, which it's just varying degrees of speed, and you also... The intervention vehicles are on the track, and these guys are zinging by them. I mean, the race does not stop.
Well, I think it caused a few crashes.
Yes, it did.
But
it did. There were a couple close calls as well. It's just wild. I love it. The nighttime scenes with the fans are amazing. These people are just they're hardcore
they
race
don't
fans.
Mess around.
Oh no, they don't. They don't mess around.
It
was awesome because at the beginning of the race, they. They were joking about, like, what would the FIA do? Because the fans at one point in the back part of the track came out on the track and were saluting the drivers as they went by on the warm-up lap, and it was like literally on the track. I was like, this is what we need. And they got off the track orderly.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like we want to see that, but the more important thing is, like, everyone respects for what it is.
They left and they got back on the track.
They did the thing, didn't interrupt anything.
And the cool thing is, like, the nights leading up to the race, the fans go out and spray stuff. I mean, do chalk things and stuff on the track. It's really cool. But again, it's wild. I mean, some of the track elevation changes, cars getting four wheels off the ground. I mean,
there was a video of a Porsche that almost went
up and over
backwards. Yeah. But he came over the crest and got the front wheels up.
I'm looking at one of the pictures of the Audi, the leading Audi, not the fastest Audi. It was it's it's all four wheels. It's fantastic. Yeah, it's just awesome. Anyways, great stuff. This year there was a distance record set. They ran the old distance record was 159 laps, so times that by 15 miles.
Oh my gosh, forever.
So 162.
What was it this year?
5. They went 2,500 miles this year in 24 hours. Now you got to factor in the code 60 and the code 120.
Yeah, but still,
that's pretty impressive. This year it was, and typically this race is this is a Bavarian or German Mark dominated series.
Oh yeah.
Porsche's won a fair share. Mercedes has won of recent, and BMW does very well. Audi has won, so it's very German centric. Yeah. In terms of winning.
Yeah, but I mean, Ferrari won, so.
Man, Nate, you just know how to kill stuff. So
grazie is what you should be saying.
Yeah, well, the underlining story to it is the team that won, Fricadelli Racing, has been a longtime Porsche supporter. Yeah. Okay, unfortunately, they lost their Porsche status. Okay, or whatever the factory status or whatever that they had on the car. They moved to Ferrari. Now, Fricadelli Racing is associated with Sabine Schmitz, who was probably, they called her the ringmeister. She did so many laps around this place, like she could do in like blindfold. Yeah. And she was very quick and all that. She passed away several years ago, but she was married to Eric Fricadelli, who runs the team, and the team is literally just down the street from the ring. And this year they ran a Ferrari. They won, as Nate told everybody.
Gladly told everyone.
And it was a Ferrari 256, so it's the brand new
296.
Oh, 296. Sorry.
Yes.
296. The driving group of this car. Felipe Fernandez, David Pittard, who's a decent. He runs a lot of ring races, and from Germany. But there's two other gentlemen, Earl Bamber,
yes,
and Nicky Katzberg,
who has made an Xfinity start.
Nicky Katzberg,
Xfinity Series start.
Yeah. Yep. Corvette driver in the WEC. Yeah. Drove. Corvette gave him permission to drive. unlike BMW. That's why he left BMW. So it was that was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Great story.
Well, I'm sure that story is also, or Katzberg being able to do that race is because he could.
No, well, Corvette's
not entered in his competing manufacturer.
Yes, so he's allowed to do the race.
Yeah.
However, as has been reported by several internet sites, there was a large contingent of Corvette personnel there. And when we say Corvette, we're not talking. There was probably some folks from GM. Mm-hmm. We're talking Pratt Miller. We're there.
Who's these people?
Who are these people?
These people.
Who are these people?
You hear this, Sean?
So they were there, I would say, on a fact-finding mission.
But what is Pratt Miller? Pratt Miller Engine.
They are the longtime builder, entrant of Corvette racing.
Okay.
Known worldwide.
And when this announcement was made, there was a big shock that they were the factory supply.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Garage of
Corvette. It doesn't matter. Anyways, they're going to be building the GT3 cars.
Yeah.
They campaigned the GTE car in WEC, the Ben Keating, Nicky Katzberg drive. They also campaign the IMSA car, which is driven by Jordan Taylor and Antonio Garcia, along with Tommy Miller in the long races. So next year they moved to the GT3 platform. Therefore, the car is eligible for the VLN series and eligible to qualify for the Nurburgring.
Yes.
And I believe they're also staying over to go to the 24 Hours of Spa, which I think is in 2 weeks. I believe.
That's soon. Yeah, I think
they're testing there this week. There's literally guys that ran that. There were guys that were at Laguna Seca.
Yeah.
Flew to the Nürburgring, ran the race, then we're either going to Spa. The race is in 2 weeks, right?
What a schedule for a driver to go across the pond. And
No. End of June, beginning of July.
Oh, it's the end of June, so it's after Le Mans.
Oh,
okay. It's after Le Mans. Okay.
Yes, it's after Le Mans.
So, but there were guys that went there for testing, and then there were guys also. There was a huge test at Watkins Glen this week, as well. So on the IMSA side, so guys were like in the cars, and then
it's also the weekend after Watkins 6 hour.
Oh, so it's gonna be busy. It's gonna be busy in the world of GT3 racing.
They're gonna go Le Mans in a couple of weeks, and then you're gonna have a week off, and then I'm guessing there's probably guys that are doing Le Mans, and then you got a week off, 6 hours of the Glen, and then you go right back to Spa for the 24-hour race.
Yeah. So, anyways,
that's a lot of racing. There's only a few months.
So we're just second place was the Row Racing BMW, essentially the factory car, and then the factory Mercedes was third. All three cars. Oh God, how many cars finished? Hold on, I'm just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars finished on the lead lap.
Yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
And did you mention how many classes?
And it was no, I didn't. There were 88 cars. 131 cars started. 131.
Oh.
So not all in the same class.
Not all in the same class, classes. And they're separated.
No, but still,
some were separated.
Big tracks, lots of cars.
Again, 88 cars finished. 43 were not classified. So a third of the field didn't finish, but 2/3 did. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And the winning margin was 25 seconds. That's damn impressive.
That's a pretty close finish. That's just
like other just 26.9. Sorry, it's 20, just under 27 seconds.
Yeah, that sounds like a finish at this other 24-hour race that went on this past weekend.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
say it.
Sorry,
we stumbled. So Christian and I have this thing when there's like no racing on, we go onto YouTube, and one of the great things about YouTube is that they put up various racing series. Now, one time last year, I found Baltic Touring Car Series, which was fantastic. It was running a very sketchy track, but it was awesome. This weekend, I was trying to find, before I found what we stumbled onto, I was trying to find the Eastern European Touring Car Championship, which took place in at the Red Bull Ring. I was trying to find that, but the British racing scene is fabulous. There's different the British, it just is a series that take, and they're all streamed. You just got to type it in and find it. This weekend, Chris and I stumbled across the Supersport Endurance Series.
Is it better than the Beetle Cup series?
No. I would go drive the VW Fun Cup.
Yeah, this is the BR.
The Fun Cup. Okay,
the BRSCC. This is right. This is who runs this.
Yeah,
and they ran 2 classes, Citroen C1s. Now these things are essentially
your Ford Focus,
a Ford Fiesta.
Yeah.
Fiesta. Now they did have a support race with Ford Fiesta.
Yes,
which was pretty good. But this was wild. 24 hours on the Grand Prix circuit
of Silverstone.
Yeah. I don't. And right now we have it playing in the background. They're showing the night run. I mean, I'm ready to just pack it up and go there because this has to be cheaper than karting. Seriously,
these guys are doing roughly 3 minutes, 3-minute 30-second lap times.
Yeah,
at least the top class that was there.
Right,
but we caught the race with like an hour to go. And at the end of the last pit stop cycle,
which was in just outside of 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, the
lead two
came out of the pit cycles side by side. So for the last 10 minutes, you had a battle going on.
Right.
At the end of a 24-hour race.
And
that's fantastic.
With 2 laps to go, it ended in tears.
Yeah.
No.
Well, the second place guy who pitted, he came out in
front
first, but the guy that had been out there he had his tires up. So he got ahead.
Yeah.
And the guy, I don't know what he was doing because, like, I swear to God, on the pit straight, he would have passed him.
Yeah, he went for a move, and I think it's called Village.
Village, yeah.
Yeah, it's the new chicane section.
Chicane, and he sadly took the leader out.
Yeah. Which
that's a tragedy.
It was. He went on to win. They interviewed him.
What?
Well, they interviewed him.
Yeah.
And the stewards
sorry,
wasted no more than 5 minutes
to
assess a 3-minute penalty.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think that put him
fifth. They finished off the podium.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was
which go top 5 guys.
Hold on, just to preface that means 4 other guys
were within that 3-minute.
Yeah, we're within the 3-minute lap.
Yeah.
So that's within a lap or 2 laps.
And these cars are not going quick. I mean, but it is close racing. It was fantastic. The thing that was cracking Christian and I up was the tire squealing. So it sounded like a show.
Right. Yeah. What is it? Can you imagine going through Brooklyn's and it's just.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe Christian can post a link to where this is.
Yeah.
We'll get it up.
We got a couple.
But I really encourage.
Go across the pond.
Nate, trust me. I'm with you, brother. I mean, just the amateur racing that occurs over there is just fantastic. Anyways, but I really encourage people to get on the YouTube and try and find some of this racing because it's just real grassroots stuff. It's awesome.
It's really easy to get in the YouTube hole.
Yeah, you can. Yeah,
that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you find the Baltic Touring Car Series. I didn't even know that existed, but I was fascinated with it. The crack was sketchy though.
Yeah.
Holy hell. Anyways, all right. So that's an obscure racing moment. All right, let's move on to the elephant in the room.
the Emilio Romano Grand Prix being canceled.
Yeah, that got canceled.
Yeah,
It's not funny.
No,
it's not funny. No, it's not.
funny.
No, not what happened there. But
No.
But what is funny?
But imagine someone that was not on Instagram. Or
No.
Twitter
But
or
what
anything
is funny? It's all these teams that made these upgrades.
There. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Mercedes.
no, I thought you were talking about Seb's shirt.
Oh no.
Oh, that's who. The Miami Grand Prix 2060.
Yeah, first race underwater.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, just for everybody over there, that's a rough situation. But, yeah. So I'm kind of curious how the new Mercedes is going to work at Monte Carlo.
did teams say that they are going to run the new upgrades, or they're not?
The upgrades were already on the cars.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Right. That'd be my guess.
Can you not revert?
I don't think so.
Why would you revert?
Well, you wouldn't revert just because it's Monaco number one.
What I've heard is that the upgrades will put on the cars, and the cars, once when you upgrade the car, you have to notify the FIA. It's not like you roll up.
No.
Right.
So
right.
You have to notify them, but
I don't think you can revert.
If you've put a part forward and they said yes, you can run it, then you have like multiple parts of this.
I get it, but I think if the
choose.
stuff is on the car, if they put the stuff on, they have to. There's a whole process that they.
No, actually.
Well, because with Mercedes, what is their upgrade? Is it just front wing or whatever?
No, they're ginormous side pods.
Yeah. No, you have.
So they put side pods on them now.
Well, now they can. That's so that when they get on the outside of you, your wheel will touch them, and then you go flying off.
Oh, jeez.
So my logic behind this
Listen to Lewis, Mercedes.
I think they can revert back because if you look at a front wing, they run different front wings on cars depending on the weekend sometimes.
Yeah,
not that teams want to do that, but they can.
From what I heard on various things, that these upgrades were put in place. And
are these podcasts that are ranked higher than us?
No, no.
No, Christian.
Well, I don't know where they're not. Those guys aren't ranked in the IndyCar podcast world where we are.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
where are we in the Formula One?
All right. So we go to Monaco. We'll have our predictions at the end of the race, along with our predictions for Indy.
Yes.
All right. If we get there.
When we get there.
When we get there. So 2 days of qualifying.
For IndyCar.
Switching
over to IndyCar.
Switching over to IndyCar. We had
Indy 500.
Right. We had three days of practice because one day got rained out. We had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
There was a lot of drama building up to that, especially with the Juncos Hollander car.
Yeah.
With Callum
Yeah,
Ilott.
yeah. Well, they didn't have any practice.
The drama being there's only 33 cars that can make the field, and there's 34
cars.
entrants. So who is the one driver and team and car that's not making it?
At Friday, my money was on Ilott at that point.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that coming in. But,
it made you think for a little bit, didn't it? Because it wasn't sure if one team was going to be a bill to get in, but
boom.
A Bill Motorsports.
Nate, I'm going to mute you.
Yeah.
Okay, he's been muted.
Anyways, that was...
Nate, you've been unmuted for that comment.
Permission granted. Thank you. Yes.
Noted. Anyways, so I was kind of thinking they weren't going. Then we had just the utter... we had a surprise in the sense that AJ Foyt Racing on Saturday was...
both cars are pretty quick.
And my pick to not make the race, Benjamin Peterson, I couldn't have been more wrong.
What? You didn't pick him?
Yes,
I did. Wait, you did. Oh, that's right, last week.
He did.
I did pick him. Yeah. Well,
Vacation was nice, boys.
I was wrong. All right. So,
you know who else was wrong with their picks? Nate.
No, that's not correct.
Very wrong.
Not correct.
Anyways,
switch it the other way, and it would have been closer to being correct. And wait till we talk about day two.
I think at the close of business on Friday, it was shaping up to be an interesting day, I thought. Mm-hmm. And then my favorite thing actually is the complaining that happens after the draws.
Like, I don't get that.
It's like, it is what it is. It's been that way forever.
Well, so, and I said this last week too, of like when we were talking about our predictions for it. Typically, the past couple of years, whoever's on pole is whoever gets, a top 10 draw pick.
Yeah, it's early in the day.
But this year, complete opposite.
Yeah.
The track heated up, but it didn't heat up,
right.
drastically.
You're talking just on the Saturday qualifying, correct?
On the Saturday, yes, on the Saturday.
Right.
So
So
the track didn't heat up crazy, and it stayed consistent throughout the day.
Yeah,
which gave a lot of teams time to be able to dial in the setup because the track actually stayed consistent, which it typically doesn't. So
right, and I was thinking it was going to rubber in and maybe the later runs would actually become faster.
The other thing that was interesting was watching that some guys would go for the big first lap, carry a ton of speed,
and then the drop off was a lot.
And then the drop off, Or you would have guys that would do the consistent run all the way through, and the car wouldn't drop off. Yeah, and that's why I think that's where some of these smaller teams settled on that got in.
Yeah,
I think so, but I think the only one real team that didn't do that had the big first lap was AJ Foyt Racing. They had Santino Ferrucci and Benjamin Peterson. They both cracked the 235, 234 on the first lap, and then just dropped the whole mile an hour on the second lap.
They were pretty consistent on Saturday in that big speed zone. So, but it was. I thought it was very entertaining qualifying. Throughout the week, especially on Friday, I don't want to get into it. Just my level of annoyance.
Yeah, you do. You do.
No, but just my level of annoyance with the NBC broadcaster team is.
This is the biggest race of his life.
Well, it's not that. It's just the constant focusing on one lap speeds and not focusing on 4-lap average.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, Towns of Bell would yell at you 235!
Right, and then it's like Towns is going to drop a mile and a half here. We all know it's coming. I mean,
I know.
And it was more he was throwing that. They were throwing that out on Friday in the practice, and it was what I wanted to see was where's the 4-lap average, you know? And Hinch was the only one who was bringing it up. And he was the one that was spot on why Catherine Legg got in the field.
Yeah.
I mean, Diffie and Bell are just, that's just horrendous. It's like, oh, well, wait a minute. And they could have been more wrong when we got to the last minute on Sunday, which was wild. Anyways, so I outside of that, it was awesome. There was 6-hour practice every day, but again, then we got tons of stuff on Saturday, no weather, so it was great.
Well, tons of track action, but the same 5 bullet points being brought up by the broadcasting team. Yeah.
The one thing I think Penske kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Well, yeah, I mean,
because
between
on Saturday, the Newgarden and McLaughlin were they 33 and 34, or something like that. They were
in the draw.
Yeah,
they were somewhere down at the bottom. Yeah.
So Power was in the top 12. The top 12 that went out.
The first 12. He was in the first
12 that went out. So he was the only Penske driver in that group. They decided, they kept the cars in the garage. They didn't have to bring them out, which is fine because when you go out in the pit lane, you're only allowed X amount of changes, I guess, because you basically are presenting yourself for qualifying. So they stayed back, but then they decided, we're going to pull ourselves completely out of the lines and gave up their 33rd and 34th spot.
So, just for clarification, they gave up their guaranteed run. So you can still make runs afterwards.
Right, but
you don't get a guaranteed
my whole thing was
shot.
And granted, when they came out, they went right down the express lane. I get it. But if something happened, like a rainstorm, and it washed it out.
Oh, it's screwed.
You're screwed. Because everybody else had a lap speed in. So that automatically puts you into the last row on Sunday.
All right.
Christian, just go with it. You just
I play devil's advocate for this one. I don't think I know Penske made an odd move, but they're not that dumb. If there was rain coming, they wouldn't have. They wouldn't have.
I know.
They wouldn't have pulled their car.
But
out.
I'm
There was
not
no rain coming.
I understand that. I was just using that as one point. Let's say there was some accident. Let's say something happened on the track. The track came up. They didn't finish qualifying. If 30 cars qualified for the race, or 30, how many cars were it? 34, right?
Yeah.
See, 32 cars qualified. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, number 32 and the two Penskes that sat there didn't go out. They should have went out and got a banker lap. I don't care. They should have put themselves in the field. And what, you know what happened at the end of the day? I mean, I just don't know why they didn't go out and see if all three drivers out there getting information. They didn't do it. Because as it was, they were nowhere in qualifying.
Well, they didn't have qualifying speed.
I wouldn't say that. They made the field.
They made the field. I know, but it wasn't what we expected.
They guaranteed themselves in the field at least.
I don't.
That would be
I don't think I
biggest
expected Penske to be at the top of the times.
Did you expect Foyt to be at the top of the times? If I was going to expect
No.
That's their big focus. They're not focused on the whole season.
If I'm going to who?
AJ Foyt.
They're running the whole season.
I know, but that's not their main focus, Sean. They're not going to win the championship.
You know? I don't care. This is like the Indy 500.
Their wheelhouse is oval racing.
Yes, you have to go for it, but I'm expecting Penske to have a much better race car than
they have a lot of work
than a
they just have it. They have a lot of
because
work
in all the practice stuff. Now, granted, that's almost a wash in itself because you never know what anyone's doing during practice. But it's not like they've been slow during the practice times. So
no,
I think
they are both fast in qualifying and race trim. They are.
Well, they weren't. They weren't really fast in qualifying, but they got the job done.
Well, I'm talking about AJ Foyt.
Oh, sorry.
I'm talking about AJ Foyt. But Penske, I think they're in bigger trouble than AJ Foyt because I'll tell you that they're not fast. And look, and I'm looking at the most recent practice 8. Okay, Penske doesn't have cars really. I don't know if it's like competitive or what in qualifying and race trim setup. I think they're in a hole because if you look at Chip Ganassi Racing, all 4 of their cars are in the top 10.
Yeah.
For like practice and like, granted, qualifying is they all made the top 12. So I really think Ganassi is the team to beat coming this Sunday.
Sorry, Nate. That was my point. I was thinking that Penske had a better race trim car.
Yeah, I mean, I would think Will Power. I don't think Justin Newgarden or Scott McLaughlin really have anything. Will Power, I think, is going to be the leading Penske driver if Penske's going to win this race on Sunday.
I mean, the past couple of years, it's been Chip Ganassi, and then McLaren's been making a climb. So
yeah, like second, third.
Yeah,
whatever.
So I mean, that's
like close.
Yeah. But those are the two teams I would expect to be up there. It's not that I don't think Penske can't figure it out. I just
the race has to come to them.
If you were to ask me who was going to put it on pole, I wouldn't have taken Penske.
No, me neither. I mean, maybe Will Power. That's it. But that's just what that's what based on the practice, based on the qualifying runs. I mean, that's really been it.
Nate, are you talking about the IndyCar qualifying king?
Yeah, in the Verizon car. Yeah. Young Will Power, right, Sean?
From Toowoomba. Scott McLaughlin.
So Saturday. So okay. Saturday continues, and we get towards the end, and now you're starting to see who's
in the last row.
So, and you end up with 3 of the 4 are taken up by Rahal Letterman Lanigan cars.
Which was Christian Lundgaard.
Which wasn't
Jack Harvey.
Catherine Legg.
Yeah.
Just say that.
Graham Rahal.
It was not Catherine Legg.
And then the other was Stingray Robb.
Yes.
Now, you can say, people can go, well, they got out qualified by Catherine Legg, but R.C. Anderson qualified.
Yeah.
Augustine Capipino qualified. Callum
all the
Ilott.
Yonkos cars.
Callum Ilott was nowhere.
Yeah.
He qualified. They rebuilt his car.
Changed the chassis.
They changed chassis, rebuilt the car Friday.
Before Friday, because that was the deadline on the chassis change. And Rahal, Letterman, and Lanigan couldn't do that because they were past the deadline on chassis changes.
No, chassis.
On
The
Saturday.
No.
The chassis got changed on Friday.
It was Friday night.
Yeah.
You can't do it.
Saturday morning.
It was Friday night.
They finished at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, that you had to get it done. By.
Makes sense. Okay.
They were done.
I knew it was like
they were
around
done.
then was
They
the
were done
deadline.
at 10. They had started. They had also asked IndyCar for a waiver.
Yeah.
IndyCar has to get that from the other folks. They did. But the point being is 10 o'clock at night. The team left the garage. Yeah. The car was switched over.
Yeah.
Callum went out in warm-ups, and Townsend Bell crapped all over them. It's just unbelievable.
There's no way.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, I know,
it's just
I
like
know.
Anyways.
Like this is where you get from someone that drives just the Indy 500.
Well, you know what? This is what happens when TV's trying to push a narrative. Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
Let's let the race.
Believe me, I see it in NASCAR all the time.
So let it happen organically and see what happens and have the surprises. We don't need the whatever. The king,
like
the king of qualifying. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So 2:42 on the entrance to turn 4, and then he posted the 20th fastest time. Okay, that's good, Lee. It's just
Actually that's the one thing. They always noted T1 speed, but never ever did I hear T2, T4 minimum speed.
Right.
Never.
No.
Because that's what determines the lap time.
No, and the best thing was and then they missed it completely. We'll get to it. So now we go to Sunday. So we know who's in the bottom end. The Fast 12 on Sunday. I'm going to just make a suggestion in IndyCar. Let's scrap the Fast 12 and just go, I don't care. Just do the Fast 6.
Just Fast 6. I don't know what that middle stuff was.
Fast 12 was just...
It was Fast 9. I didn't mind that because it's the first 3 rows of the grid.
You know what? At the end of the day, just the fastest guy. I hate this shootout crap.
Yeah, no, I know. It felt like a sprint qualifying.
Yeah,
I was like, what is this?
But it's made for TV, so that's why they do it.
Because for Palou to put it on pole, he had to do it 3 times.
Right, and he did.
He did. Good for him. But
the risk level went up each time.
Well, and I would have guessed if I was going to put money on it, I would have guessed Felix Rosenquist through and through.
Yeah, I guess my thing is it's like every time these guys go out and qualify, an extra qualifying effort.
Yeah.
Okay, they got 3 shots on Saturday. Most guys took, I think, all 3. Well, a lot of guys took 2 or 3 shots, but every time you go out, you're that much closer to the wall in it.
That and then also
or poof, a motor goes.
You have that possibility, but you also have this. Isn't 2030 supposed to be some environmental goal that they reached? Which no. Just my point being, you do these extra runs. It's not like they're not burning a new set of tires.
I know.
Just for qualifying for 4, 5, 6 laps, whatever it is.
I know.
It's like you.
It's just it's made for TV, and it's just
I don't know.
It's just ridiculous. Anyways, I just kind of like the fact that you go out there at 1 shot and you take 3 shots to go for it on that. Who's to say Palou wouldn't have taken 3 shots to make the pole?
Right.
He could have, and that's why I liked it before, where it was one day and then the next day. I mean, granted, the next day was bump qualifying, but it was like there were 10 cars. The thing was we had 4 cars.
Right.
But anyways. But at the end of the day, like on Sunday, they asked Marcus Ericsson, what are you missing? And like Bell and Diffie were just like talking top speed. And he came out and the first thing he said was consistency.
Yeah.
He wasn't consistent.
There you go, Sean.
So they did something to Dick. They radioed the Dixon. They did that, and then Sato came in. When Sato came,
sorry, hold on. The point you're trying to make is there's 4 Ganassi cars that are in this top 12.
Right.
The goal of the team is to get pole.
Yeah.
So you have 4 shots to do.
So they were working. So Ericsson went first. He worked at it. Sato went next. He explained to Dixon, what they did. Dixon went out, and then Palou went out, and I think Palou may have benefited from combination of all three plus his setting.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. VK, he didn't benefit from anybody.
No.
Because Ed Carpenter just missed out on Saturday. He was 13th. So
Connor was further down.
But not by much.
Isn't he like 18th or something? I know it's super close.
He's 16th. He's 16th. Yeah. So I mean, but Arrow McLaren did a great job. Tony Kanaan was trying to help out everybody. I mean, Rossi missed out on consistency too.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, Award just does the same stupid thing. He goes out and throws a big lap up and burns the tires off. He doesn't. His thing. He doesn't know how to manage the tires. That I'm coming to the conclusion that he just doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah,
because he has big drop offs.
Well, he does, but you know who does know how to manage it is Felix Rosenquist.
Right.
He had a really good qualifier, and it was very consistent throughout.
Pelot did the same thing.
Through.
VK did the same thing. I mean, VK joked at the end that, what was the difference? Alex didn't eat lunch. I did.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, but then, we got down, then we come to the end of the last four shootout, and, Lundgaard goes out. Nothing spectacular, but it was fast enough. Stingray Rob goes out. Again, it was okay. I figured Graham and Harvey are definitely going to get past them, and they didn't.
No.
Okay.
And I'll tell you. So since we're jumping to last chance qualifier, Jack Harvey put together a very slow lap time.
His first shot.
It was like 2:28. Yeah, at his first shot.
He actually did 3 shots. Okay.
He did all 3.
Yeah, he did all 3. Now, so after the first one, which was horrendous, right? So it's Lundgaard, Rob, and Rahal.
Yeah,
at that point. So Graham stays in the car because honestly, if you move, you chuck the timeout.
So if you make another attempt, your time immediately goes out. So
and the way the heat was and stuff, the feeling was the car would not be optimal to do it. So I think
they're trying to cool the car as much as possible to get it optimal range.
The one that
their calculated guess, it wouldn't work.
So the guy is 34th. I get it. He's a team car and stuff. Guy wants to get in the race. He's got to go. Yeah. All right. I don't care who it is. I don't care what team it is. You can't be effing around with it. He goes for it.
Right.
And didn't improve, but not enough to. He was like a 10th off Graham or something.
The second attempt. Yeah.
Second attempt. He was 10th. Yeah. Now he came right back in.
Yeah.
And literally slapped 4 tires on.
Yeah. They went out with just enough. They went out to come in with just enough time for either Graham to go out
or Jack
to go out for another one.
Graham didn't move.
And Graham didn't move because Jack missed it. So you wouldn't sacrifice your time, especially if it was that
because
close.
Now the car's going to go out super hot.
Yeah.
And whatever. He goes out. Harvey goes out. They slap the tires on. He goes out, takes the green flag, and during that was it. He was going to be the last one because the gun was going to sound at some point during the qualifying.
It was 2 minutes to go.
Right.
And, it was over once he got going.
So, but his first 2 laps, they're in the ballpark.
We're slower.
They're in the ballpark.
Yeah.
They suggested they suggested something on the 3rd lap. They like some type of adjustment that he made.
Yeah.
And was it 2 clicks to weight jacket?
I can't remember what it was, but as soon as he made that adjustment, the car went 0.2 faster, and he jumped over Rahal.
Yeah.
For that lap, but that didn't necessarily put him over. The next lap was consistent with that, and those 2 laps put him into the field.
Yeah.
And Graham was out. Sucks, but that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
That's why, that's kind of why I kind of like that they have 34 cars. It's kind of like back in the old day in Formula One when they had pre-qualifying and qualifying and guys got knocked out. It's fun.
Yeah.
You know what?
We should mention Dinner with Racers put out.
Oh yeah, let's get to that. Let's just finish this thing. Let's get to that.
Yeah.
So let's get to that because but I'm not on the Graham Rahal fan club. All right.
Sean recalled it.
Huh? No. Well, I call what?
We predicted that he wouldn't make the field. Like, took a guess at it.
No,
and
you
it worked.
predicted he was on pole. Nate,
you predicted pole.
Guys,
you said his leg was out.
Yeah,
we need to date ourselves back to May 3rd.
Like,
on that episode.
Like, if I had to pick three or four guys that were going to be in that, Graham was going to be in that mess. I mean, it's just, I know, and I just, whatever. He just doesn't do it for me as a driver.
Okay.
That's all.
No, but
I think he does a lot for the sport and stuff, but I just, it's anyways. So
yeah, right.
But
he'll put out a new tweet.
Credit to him. He took it. He took the bullets. He took the high road. He, did everything right.
Yeah.
I mean, he stood up. I have a thing with the media sticking a microphone in the guy's face like 2 seconds after.
Yeah.
It's just like, can you give the guy a minute to process it?
He was so sad. Like, no.
Well, he's like, Jack Harvey would have been Jack Harvey would have been the same thing.
Right.
And credit to to those guys. I mean, no one, didn't get out. Like, I give Jack Harvey credit. He didn't go woo. He didn't do that.
Yeah, no.
And I can honestly say I don't think Graham would have done the same thing either.
Because
if anyone was going to go woo, it would be Stingray Rob. Okay, sorry.
Yes, yeah,
he had a right to do
well, that's just
because it wasn't
right. Right.
So look at this. In 2011, when Andretti had the problem, okay, there was Danica Patrick, there was Mike Conway, there was Ryan Hunter-Reay that were like on the outside looking and flip-flopping each other, and eventually ended up being where Mike Conway didn't make it and Ryan Hunter-Reay didn't make it.
Hey, there was a year.
And Marco Andretti kicked him out.
Hey, there's a year Penske didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, 1995.
Okay, so it's not. This is not an easy race. I mean, this is something hard. This is hard. It's hard. It's 4 laps.
It's high drama, man. That's
even
drama.
a couple of years ago, one of the Penskes almost missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More power.
Yeah.
James Hinchcliffe failed to make it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's like you. Sometimes it clicks, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Seb Bourdais stuffed it into the wall, and that ended his qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
And he had the fastest. He had the fastest car.
Yeah.
So, this is. I mean, the Rahal guys took the high road on it. Okay. Yeah. Then of course you have the what did Mike Joy call him? The
field fillers?
No, the keyboard. What are they?
Keyboard warriors.
Keyboard warriors. Yeah. So then it was all this conspiracy that they were going to take Catherine out of the car and put Graham in and stuff like that.
No. Well, that happened in 2011. Bruno Shakira.
I get it, Nate, but they weren't going to do it.
I know. And Graham Rahal wasn't about to do that.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He said it in his interview.
Because I'll be honest with you, if he catches enough heat, because his personality does rub people the wrong way. If they did that, he would have been dead meat to a lot of people. And there was a lot of that going on. So I mean, again, they took the high road. Everybody, everyone felt bad. Stuff like that. Then we move on to Monday, and it's just practice day, and
picture day.
Yep, pretty much. Unfortunately, Catherine Legg and Steph Wilson had it coming together.
Mm-hmm. And I'll add, Catherine Legg did not have time to react to that. That checkup.
No, that was just a big checkup.
Lift off. Brakes.
That wasn't Steph checking up. That was the field checking up.
Yeah.
So that was just something that happens, and she just got caught out.
And honestly, when I watched it, it didn't look
right. It never looks bad.
out of an Indy 500 crash. It really didn't look like
it was benign.
One. Yeah, it looked pretty
right.
But
I'll add this because you see like blowovers such as like Colton Herta, I think 2 years ago. Ed Carpenter, Justin Newgarden, just to name a couple.
Colton Herta had a blowover. Huh.
Yeah. In Carp Day.
You'd think out of all this broadcasting stuff that was on there that maybe they did show that like 500
they did
times.
Show that. Come on. Yeah.
So anyways, the unfortunate thing that's come out of this is Steph's going to miss the race because he has a fractured vertebrae.
Yeah.
So
who gets the call, Sean?
So that there was a lot of speculation last night that actually one of Nate's favorite, Sage Karam.
Hey, I'm starting to respect him because he's doing the Xfinity stuff. But anyway,
of course.
Anyway.
If you do NASCAR, you're so much further
Big
in
fan.
size.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It's skills with a Z, Sean.
Right, and he did so good in sports cars.
He trashed so many Chip Ganassi prototypes.
Anyways,
Sebring.
so that was kind of
Anyway.
neat speculation. There was like, somebody was like, well, maybe they'll get someone else, and it's like, well, if you get as it turned out, Graham's going to take the seat.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Well,
there's a
Honda driver going into a Chevy.
Yeah, I get that. But there's a connection with the Wilson family and Graham. After Justin passed away, Graham was kind of the leading light in the IndyCar paddock in terms of raising funds for the family and stuff. And he and Steph are really good friends.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, you're also dealing with Bobby Rahal, okay, who's probably got his head screwed on, probably the most level-headed in the paddock. And also, here's the other thing that people don't understand. Who is Graham Rahal married to?
Courtney Force.
And what make does John Force Racing run in NHRA Top Fuel, Funny Car,
Do they
and
run
Top
Fords?
Fuel? No, they don't. They run Chevrolets.
Just a guess. I don't watch NHRA.
Well, so do you think?
So Chevy.
So let's put it this way. I think there was a meeting of the minds, and probably the best thing was put Graham in the car. I'll be honest with you. I don't think it doesn't matter what motor's in the. I mean, look, he's a Honda guy. He's driving the car, but you know what? He's probably out of everybody that's available to drive. He's probably the most qualified.
Like
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You have Mario come out?
if there wasn't stuff that
Which
was,
he could have.
Jeez. Michael.
if you go far enough back, it doesn't. It's not that brand manufacturers matter. It's like you pick whatever is the fastest.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Today's racing is a bit different than what it was.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
what was the story of who? What was the story or was it Rahal's? The last time they got bumped or whatever. Where
Bobby. He was driving a Penske car, which was a completely different manufacturer than what they had.
Yes,
I believe that's I think
so.
Were they using the Alfa Romeo engine?
So whatever they were using,
anyways,
before,
they went to a Penske car.
went to a Penske.
Yeah, just to make the
car,
field.
completely different engine
To make the field.
To make the field.
Yeah.
So
It happens.
right.
Okay, it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I have no problem with it. I'm fine. It's a competent driver.
Yeah.
Now I have a question. Is the car going to the back of the field? So
I would say so.
Is Graham starting shotgun or is he starting?
I think he's starting 33rd.
I would go with the notion that
I
think
the
the car is going to start where it qualified
That's what I was thinking.
because
It's the car,
No.
not the driver.
It's a new driver and a new
No.
I would guess that they're starting at the back.
No. You can't. I can't take the new driver as the reason to go to the back because it's the car.
The only reason they were saying a new driver was they were just saying if it was somebody that didn't have significant IndyCar experience. So if they took what's his name? That's down in who's the kid that keeps getting hosed down in Indy Lights? Renus. Renus Lindquist. There was talk of him.
Oh.
So all right. So that's like somebody who hasn't gone through the driver orientation program,
test.
right?
Yeah.
So really, the only one here, there was only one option. It really was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it was pretty linear.
Well, Tom Bell.
I would say.
Tom Bell.
But
T-Bell.
jeez, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would have picked Sage Karen before Townsend Bell.
Townsend Bell. Yeah. Anyways, so Graham's in. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good story. Really, really nice.
Yeah.
There was some other good stories that came out of today. Brian Herter today.
Oh, the coolest birthday gift.
Yeah. So Colton Herter
Jeez.
bought Brian Herter.
Just for the clarification, Brian is Colton's dad.
Bought his dad his last the car that he drove to his last IndyCar win at Laguna Seca in 1998. Mm-hmm. The car is the exact same chassis. It has the original road course motor in it. Everything else is all that. Colton found it like a year ago. He was trying to get it for his dad's birthday last year. Couldn't get the deal done. He put a deposit. It sounds like he put a deposit on it, and he was working with the guy to figure it out. Anyways, they closed the deal about a month and a half ago. The car got shipped to Indianapolis, and then today was taken over to Brian Herter Autosport in Indianapolis. And under the premise that Marshall Pruitt had to do an interview with Brian, and Brian's was all pissy about why are we doing it at the dealership, which is also Brian Herter Autosport. And anyways, they convinced him to go there, and Brian's wife and Colton's mom kind of got in on it. And so he came back into the back room, and he walked in. He's like, what the hell? And they were like, yep. And then he still couldn't figure out what it was. Like, he goes, oh, that's nice. And then Colton told him.
Yeah.
And, like, literally, the guy friggin' broke down. It was amazing. He actually fit in the car, too.
Yeah.
He got in the car.
That's
so now
cool.
he and Colton are now trying to figure out how they can, like, they want to take it to the Historics at Monterey and run it there. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Cool story.
That's
cool
really
story.
awesome. I love that.
So, but it was kind of cool because Colton, like, gets the history of IndyCar. So it's like Connor gets it, you know? So it's kind of cool. Anyways,
speaking of history, Dinner with Racers.
Okay, so Dinner with Racers, they have the podcast, phenomenal. It's probably they didn't even make the top IndyCar podcast, top 60. Anyways, I call them the granddaddy or the OG of motorsports podcast.
Yeah, that's
that's 100%.
That's the
part of the reason we started this podcast is probably because we listened to that and we thought it'd be fun but we don't. Anyways, they also have a TV show that they've done on Motor Trend. It was on Amazon originally.
Motor Trend,
it was on Amazon. Then moved to Motor Trend.
It's on Motor Trend.
Motor Trend, and it goes and Motor Trend will post it up on the YouTube.
Yeah.
And the TV shows are phenomenal. They're really good. They're long form. They're awesome. They're very educational. They're awesome. What did they do earlier this season? They did the Long Beach Grand Prix. They did
building
Long Beach. They did 3 episodes of it. It was really good. And then then I was like, and I see this thing like, Friday. I'm like, Friday, or was it Friday or Thursday it launched?
One of the days.
One of the days. Yeah. I'm like, okay. So I figured maybe they were doing podcasts. No, another TV show launched, and it was called Bumped. It was about Pacific Coast Motorsports, who was a longtime entrant in Formula Atlantic back in the day with Alex Figge and I think John Fogerty ran with them. There was a bunch of guys that ran with them. Very good team. And they did that. They also ran a Corvette in the IMSA series in the GTLM paddock for a year and a half, and then made their way to IndyCar with I think Alex drove, and then they had a few others, and then they tried to, this chronicled. Nate, what year was it? 2000.
I'm not sure what year that was.
It was Mario Dominguez was.
Wasn't it 2008?
2008, I think. Yeah, because it was They were quoting it was 15 years later because Mario hasn't driven in IndyCar since.
That's right.
Prior to that,
Mario won?
Right, but Mario prior to that was very good in kart.
He has a race victory to his name too.
So it chronicled like basically when the IndyCar IRL thing happened and they merged. Tom Figge, who was the money guy, he was all into kart. He wasn't into oval racing and stuff like that. And Alex, his son, wasn't really big on the oval racing scene either. So Tyler Tadovic, who was kind of the team manager, made a deal with Figgy to take over the assets of the team, the debts and everything, and run the team. And, I mean, literally the guys that remained on the team put their credit cards up, their houses up to make this team work. And it chronicled that entire practice and qualifying.
Yeah. It's worth the watch and listen. It's something else, man.
Yeah, no, that was a great story, and but it gave you the side of, you know, the loser of it all,
and I think it was very poignant because it fit right into what happened this weekend.
Yes, yeah, and now Ray Hall's a very different
kettle of fish.
It's more of a it's more of a giant in the series versus like an outsider looking in.
However, say it was Able Motorsports, right,
yeah,
where you're talking about a team that gets one car in there and gets enough funds to go in the race.
Right,
do you make it or not?
In the Able Motorsports group is like there's some money there, but also the Andersons own the cars.
Yes.
So I mean, it's a collective effort to get that car into the field.
Right.
But this was basically, this is like if the three of us went to the bank, took $1 million out to try and make the race. Mm-hmm. That's what this was. And the way Sean and Ryan put it together, it built, and then finally it built to the crescendo, and the crescendo was they tried to make one last ditch qualifying attempt, and unfortunately they crashed. And part of the reason they crashed was that they rushed it through. They rushed it through,
making a wind adjustment while moving.
The changes, and they were rushing everything through to get the car up onto the scales and everything. Yeah. And one of the mechanics contends that it was like something to do with the wicker. He didn't get it right. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like Tyler Tadovic said, it's like you can't be making changes on the pad. You know. But they were going for it, and Mario went for it, and you know whatever. On the back end of it, everyone came out okay.
Well, and we circled back to day 2, last chance qualifying, because Jack Harvey on his third attempt then qualified for the race.
We had watched it on. Did we watch it
Friday?
Friday night. We watched it. We watched it Friday night. It was and it just like when it got to Sunday, I was like, wow, that's just what we experienced with their show. It was amazing, and it was well done. Well done. I highly recommend people to watch it. It is up on YouTube. You got to go to the Motor Trend subscriction page and get it there. But it's wild. It's awesome. It's really well done. So. Yeah. The ones prior to that were the Paul Tracy ones.
Oh yeah.
If you want some good ones, Paul Tracy ones are good too.
Oh jeez, yeah.
If you like
believe
PT.
that one.
Anyways, all right. So it's pick time. Monaco.
Monaco. Oh, hold on. Right before
Indy.
Right before we get to that, McLaren unveiled a new livery for Monaco and Spanish GP. Yeah, I'm on that train too. I'm not a huge fan.
What is it? Yeah.
Have you seen it, Ted? No.
No. Wait till you see it, Sean.
Basically, if you haven't seen it, what they tried to do was, if you've looked at McLaren's Indy cars for the 500 and how they've tried to do a car for each of the Triple Crown for a paint scheme like that.
So, Sean, what might they be doing? Is combining 3 paint schemes on one car, 2 cars. And the result?
It's not going to go any faster.
Oh!
No, it's
No, it's not.
I get what they're trying to do, but I just wasn't a fan of it. It doesn't look like what the Indy cars do, because they tried to combine 3 of them into one. I don't know. So
and they're doing it for the Spanish Grand Prix too, which I don't understand. Is there something special about that? Like,
I think it's just the fact that it's 2 weekends in a row, and you don't really want to.
Whatever.
You don't really want to take it off in between. It's added work, but I mean, it is McLaren. This is what they've done. Just because they can't win a race, they've resorted to marketing.
Right.
stuff.
Maybe they're hinting at Alex Palou joining F1.
Whatever.
Yeah, no.
Anyways. All right. I'll go first. I'm going to go Max.
For Monaco, right?
Yes. I'm going to go Max.
Okay.
I'm going to go Max, Checo, and I'm going to go Leclerc. And my dark horse is going to be Hulkenberg.
You went standard run of the mill.
I know.
Nate, who you got?
I gotta wait till you hear this. It's gonna be not Charles Leclerc. Nowhere. He's not gonna do well. You're gonna have Sergio Perez coming in third. You're gonna have, let's see, second place. Carlos Sainz, second place, and Fernando Alonso winning the race.
Ooh.
All right.
And my dark horse, I gotta tell you, it's going to be Pierre Gasly.
You bastard! So I had my stuff already written down. I went Alonso. I went Alonso P1.
Is this about Ocon?
No. I went Alonso winning the race because I think this is the best shot I think that any other team has
hands down
to bring down Red Bull. And
it's gonna rain.
On top of that, yeah, Nate, like you said, it's gonna rain, or it's showing that, or it's forecasting that it's gonna rain. And then round out my podium, I had Max finishing second, and I think Charles puts the curse to bed and has a good result, so I think he'll round out on the podium. But Nate, like your dark horse, my dark horse is also Pierre Gasly.
Yeah, I mean, I agree to that extent.
Right.
You know.
So let's move on to
Sean.
Let's move on to the greatest spectacle in motor racing.
Here we go.
Miami Grand Prix. Oh wait.
No, wait a minute.
Sorry, the
Who
actual.
the hell said that?
All right,
Great.
we're not going to.
The actual. Oh wait.
Are we picking? Are we picking dark horse?
We're gonna get sued, Sean. No.
Yeah, no. We can do dark horses.
We're
for
gonna
this.
do all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. So
top three.
Oh, we're doing top three. Oh boy.
Like 3 drivers that could win it.
No. Or
That's
should we just do one and then?
I had it down as we just pick the winner and then a dark horse.
All right, let's just do that.
okay.
I
All right,
think
let's
that's
just do
easy
that.
enough.
Yeah. All right. Well, do I go first? Sure. You know
Go
what?
for it, Nate.
I'm gonna take the leap on this one. I better begin with my dark horse first, because I'll tell you, my dark horse is going to be Gosh, there's like 3 I don't want to say, but I want to say. Okay, dark horse is going to be Romain Grosjean.
Okay.
That's my dark horse.
Okay.
And then the winner is it's going to happen. Takuma Sato is going to win for his 3rd triumph at this race.
For 3. All right.
Well done. You want to go?
2 ex-F1
Yeah.
drivers, but hey, what do I know?
All right. I will go. So my dark horse. My dark horse is going to be Peterson.
A rookie.
Wow. Yeah.
Rookie taking the 500
Wow.
for Foyt. I think that would be pretty cool.
All right.
That'd be a story.
Okay. And
That'd be
First,
one hell of a story.
Just because this is who I will be cheering for in the stands is going to be Rossi.
okay.
So I think he
yeah.
gets his second.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Because my pick behind that would be TK.
That'd be cool. I'd like to see
I-
TK win.
That would be cool.
All right.
But
So my dark horse is Tony Kanaan.
okay.
Oh, there we are. Yes.
And-
Yes.
I was
Good
wrestling
thinking,
with
Sean.
this, and my winner is going to be from Auckland, New Zealand, Scott Dixon.
All right.
And if I had to pick who,
You don't think the Dixon curse is going to happen?
no.
2008's a long time,
No,
Sean.
and I wouldn't be shocked if Takuma won.
So
Yeah.
So we've all selected repeat winners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I just my thing. I would like to see.
And I see Tony Kanaan being a serious threat.
I'd
as
like to
well,
see
'cause,
J-New
he's
win.
no slouch at Indy.
I'd like to see J-New win. I just don't get a feel for what Penske
I don't think it's
is.
going to happen. No, I don't see it happening either. The only Penske chance is Will Power, which, I mean, he's 12th in qualifying. So,
my feeling is with Ferrucci, something's gonna happen.
So,
like something stupid's gonna happen. Something stupid's gonna happen with the car. Like a wheel nut's gonna jam or something. There's pit stop. Something dumb.
Sorry, just to put this
oh,
up. So
that'd be horrible. I mean,
so Dad and myself have chosen whole milk winners, and Nate has gone for a 2% winner.
Oh, based on the milk thing.
On the milk.
Who did
yes.
What did Dixon pick? Chocolate.
No, Dixon and Rossi picked whole.
no, you know what I'd pick? I'd pick strawberry milk if I had a choice.
There you go. All right.
Can't
good.
You can't pick chocolate, can you?
I'm sure you can.
I think you can because I think Montoya picked it.
Oh, did he?
I think he did something like that.
Yeah.
Somebody did.
Well, I shouldn't say.
I don't know. Personally, I think strawberry milk tastes so good after you get out of the car.
I shouldn't say unfortunately, but
so 2/3 of the Red Mist podcast will be reporting live.
Yes,
yes, they will, guys.
The race.
You guys are gonna have such a fun time. Yeah. It's gonna be unlike anything else you've been to. Maybe besides Le Mans, because you went to a really good finish.
Nate, you know what also is going to be going on at Indy?
Snake Pit.
We got Shaq Diesel.
Oh yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how to get to the sprint car races. So
I know, yeah,
because
I do want to go do that.
I think
stuff.
Friday night.
Well,
Friday night.
Isn't there a race at IRP?
Yes, Friday night there is, and J.R. Hildebrand will be running.
Ooh.
Hey.
Right. So
yeah.
Anyways, so there we go. We'll report back next week. We'll probably report back on Wednesday versus Tuesday. That'll get delayed.
Well,
anyways.
we've cut these last 2 minutes short, and we're gonna end it here.
All right. So enjoy Memorial Day, everyone. Keep in mind that this is about those that gave the ultimate sacrifice so that we can enjoy these weekends, both with their lives and with their injuries and so forth, and coming back fine from world events. So please, keep that in mind as we move into the Memorial Day weekend.
Good night.
Thank you guys for listening to the Red Mist Podcast, hosted by Christian Abbott, Sean Abbott, and Nathan Lavin. It's produced by Christian Abbott, and music is by Alex Wart and Harrison Tate.